What's up, everybody? Paul here from the Hoops Crew, and today, with some conversations that are being had online over the course of the last week or so, I want to discuss Sam De Koning and his future with, or potentially without, the Cats in it. And the conversation's been put on the agenda by a few people lately. We see a bit of scuttlebutt online. There's a range of different factors that I guess go into this situation. A lot of different parties who've got genuine interest in the goings on when it comes to Sam De Koning and his future at the Cats. And I think it's well worth picking through it, discussing why not, what we know, what we don't, what's possible, the link to his brother, of course. There's a whole range of different things that we can discuss here. And I do want to pick through those in this recording. But before we get to any of that, a word from our sponsor.
The Hoops Crew Media Network is proudly sponsored by Cyril Cook Florist, established in Geelong since 1915. Visit their website at www.cyrilcookflorist.com.au. That's Cook with an E. Give them a call on 035 222 2244 or mention the Hoops Crew to get yourself 20% off your next in-store purchase when you visit them at Shop 12, 11 Leather Street in Breakwater.
So let's talk about Sam De Koning and whether he is or isn't going to be a Cat going forward. Let's first discuss what the club has said most recently. The club has been adamant, and to be fair, we've not heard this directly from the club. We've heard this via media personalities that any action potentially involving Sam De Koning will not happen in this trade period. And I would imagine the club is going to back themselves in that if he is disgruntled, if he is trying to explore the market, if he is considering his different options, the club will back itself in to win him over the course of the next 12 months. And I do understand why Sam is potentially feeling a little bit flat and a little bit dejected at the moment. He was available for the prelim final, not selected. I do genuinely think that was a bad call from the Cats. I think the more time I've spent with the game, the more I've come to believe that some match committee decisions have kind of let us down ultimately in this one. Yes, there's some other factors. We didn't kind of curb the momentum of the Lions, Max Holmes' injury. There's a range of different factors that kind of cost us in that prelim, but I do think some match committee decisions, some decisions and things were absolutely within the club's control were things that cost us in that prelim final. But in terms of Sam De Koning and his future with the Cats, I'm going to put it out there straight away. I feel pretty confident in the fact that Sam De Koning will be a Cat in 2024 and then 2025 and beyond as well. But let's go through what Kane Corns has been saying. And obviously Kane is very outspoken, but it is a question that's being asked by a lot of people at the moment. So it's worthwhile picking through it. So as we kind of skim through the situation, no one's spoken about him, Corn said on SEN's Sports Day. We're talking about players who are contracted for years on end. I've heard about Chad Warner and players coming out of contract next year, and here's a guy that looks ready to explode in 2022. You just put his magnet at centre half back for 10 years. I haven't heard one person mention him as a potential trade target when he's not in Geelong's best side right now and may miss out on a premiership. Keep in mind, Kane said this before we lost in the prelim final. Surely he's gettable. Now, there's been a bit of work that's gone into this conversation from Kane, from a range of other people. We can see AFL Media's Josh Gabelich insists the Carlton, where Sam's older brother Tom plays, has shown interest. However, the Cats have made it clear that their athletic 204-centimetre player is going nowhere. I've done some digging on it. Carlton have asked the question in the past. They would love to reunite the brothers, said Gabelich. They've been told under no circumstances will Sam De Koning be traded from the Cats this October. Now, I want to pick through that a little bit, and I want to focus on the Carlton situation first because as many who kind of tune into some of the Hoops Crew content know, despite the fact that I am a Geelong person, I do have some resources when it comes to Carlton that I can kind of tap on and kind of inquire about. And my understanding is about a week old, is that Carlton don't have any interest in Sam De Koning at the moment. That they won't be picking him up, and I think they don't have the means to go and pick up someone like Sam De Koning right now. And that in fact, it is more likely, and I'm not saying this is going to happen. I'm going to be super clear. I'm looking down the barrel of the camera right now. This is not happening this year, is my understanding. Tom De Koning is more likely to come to the Cats than Sam De Koning is to go to the Blues. That's my understanding right now. That is not to say that either of those things will transpire, but it is more likely that Tom will come to the Cats than the other way around. And so I guess with that in mind, that's the Carlton situation addressed in my eyes. Beyond that, then there's obviously other clubs, and there's lots of clubs that would be loving the idea of recruiting a 22-year-old, key defender, potential ruckman as well with that height that he's got, and he's obviously had some experience in that role over the course of this season. There's lots of clubs that would be interested in someone like Sam De Koning, and you can totally see why they would. He's a brilliant player with bucket loads of potential. But I genuinely think, and now this is me kind of slipping back into Geelong fan mode here, I back the club, I back its systems, I back Chris Scott, I back Andrew Mackey and Stephen Wells and kind of that whole recruiting team as well. I back its development programs. And I back Sam to be able to compile a 2025 season that is going to be worthy of being in the starting 23, being a key magnet on that board. And come the end of the year, him being signed on for 2026 and beyond all that. And in my mind, I don't think there's really any questions around it. I understand why there are people circling him, why clubs are circling him, and why he's going to be a topic of conversation for quite some time. But the Cats know of his importance, either as a ruckman or as a key defender. And I genuinely hope it's as a key defender because he's proven time and time again how brilliant he can be in that space. The Cats aren't going to let him go. They're going to make him feel very comfortable, make him feel welcomed and loved, and not in some sort of insincere way, but like he's going to step into that club and have an amazing time, and he's going to be part of a team that is winning more than it's losing, most likely. And I wouldn't want to go if that's the case. And again, this is a club who's always contending. And so he's always going to feel like there's a sniff of a premiership not far away. He's tasted it once before. He kicked a goal. He kicked his first goal in the 2022 grand final. And who knows when another opportunity will emerge. It's probably not going to be that long, I hope. He's going to feel like it's a distinct possibility going to any given season. And that's an amazing thing to have when you're an AFL player, is this idea that a premiership, the ultimate success, what you play the game for, is somewhat attainable in any given year. What a luxury. What a blessing it is to be a part of the Geelong Football Club or a supporter of the Geelong Football Club. When you say things like that, it hits home how lucky we are. And that won't be lost on Sam either. And so I guess in closing my thoughts here, and I'm very much getting on the soapbox and kind of shouting my opinions more than grounding too much of this in fact. But Sam De Koning won't be going anywhere. The Cats won't want him to go anywhere. And I don't think we have the young defensive stocks coming through. And I know we've got Connor O'Sullivan, who's going to be brilliant as well, but I don't think he's kind of a like for like and looking to kind of replace Sam in a similar sort of role either. I am firmly of the mind that he will be a Cat in 2026 and beyond that. And again, maybe his brother comes to join at some point, and that'll be a boon when it comes to the ruck. That'll be a real asset. Of course, Tom has had some of his challenges as well. But I firmly believe Sam will be a Cat going into next year. You can toss out any of the conversation around this upcoming trade period. He's not going anywhere. But I will, of course, eat humble pie if I turn out to be wrong. My sources say Carlton is a no, and potentially will be a no in another 12 months as well. But there's a lot of water that can pass under the bridge there, so I'm not as committed to the 12 months from now conversation. That's where we'll wrap things up in this episode, in this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please make sure to check out all the Hoops Crew content on the YouTube channel. Subscribe if you haven't already. People have been coming in droves over the course of the last couple of months, and we really appreciate it. Please continue to do so. Check out all the incredible content. We've got a huge slate planned for this off-season period as well. And of course, the girls are still playing as well. And we've got a heap of content around the AFLW team as well. Check out our Patreon if you haven't already. Of course, it's off-season for the men's, but some of that content I've mentioned, there'll be early access, there'll be exclusives, there'll be extended content. All of it's available through the Patreon. That's the best place to go if you're a fan of the stuff that we are creating. On social media, you can find us at The Hoops Crew. You can find me at Paul James Games. And until next time, please remain Geelong strong. Sam De Koning, please don't leave us. I'll see you later.